Hi there, I'm Raina, and this is a 30-minute, mostly standing flow. So with this flow, I don't have any props with me. You're always encouraged to use props, but I really want to focus on the connection of foot to earth here. So we're going to be exploring a bit of a slow flow, great for mornings. I think most yoga is pretty good for the mornings though. And so, like I said, you don't necessarily need anything, but I'm a huge fan of blocks. So if you have a couple blocks and you'd like to keep them nearby, I totally recommend and encourage that. When you're ready, we'll get started at the top of our mat standing. Cool, so take a moment, give yourself a little shake, a little shimmy, a little wiggle. Take your feet a little wider than hips distance apart. So as if you were standing on train tracks. And from here, let the arms hang by the side, find a soft bend in the knee, and begin to rock forward and back on your feet. So from the heels to the toes. And it doesn't need to be a big movement. It can be a small rock. Your foot doesn't even need to leave the ground. Good. And adding to this rock, start to circle around the feet. Any direction, just circling yourself one way, circling the other way, and just trying to become aware of all the edges, all the kind of nuances of your feet, the way they connect to the ground. Eventually trying to find a middle of your foot, a center of your balance. And once you do, you can stop moving. Again, soften the knees and allow the eyes to close or find a soft gaze. Finding a few rounds of breath to arrive to your practice, arrive to your mat. As you breathe here, becoming aware of how your feet are making contact with the earth once again. And feeling as if you're drawing energy up from the ground. It's moving into your feet and making its way up the body. Pulling all the energy in through the earth, up the body. And as you visualize this energy traveling up, maybe you find a little more length in the spine, a little more lift in the sides of the body. And as you're ready, you can blink the eyes open, refocusing your gaze. And on an inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And as you exhale, cactus the arms out to the side, lifting the chest slightly, soft bend in the knees. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, feet stay grounded. Exhale, cactus the arms open, again, a soft bend in the knees. One more, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms wide. Start to draw a big circle around the body. And reach the hands behind the back. You can clasp the hands together if that's available today, and if not, you can bring the hands to the lower back. On an inhale, start to press the hips forward slightly, squeeze the spine with the shoulder blades, lift the chest. Finding 3 rounds of breath here. One more big round of breath. Good. Slowly release the grip or release the hands from the lower back. And on an inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, start to hinge at the hips, folding forward, allowing the knees to stay bent. Hands can rest on the shins or towards the earth. On an inhale, take a halfway lift. Look out ahead of you. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out, reach them overhead. Press the palms together and exhale as you slide the hands to heart center. Take a round of breath here. Notice the body. Notice where the warmth is, where you're feeling cool, how your feet are connected to the earth. On an inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, start to fold forward, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, look out ahead of you. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Press the palms together and exhale, hands to heart center. Take a round of breath. Notice how your feet connect to the earth. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, start to fold forward, hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, press the hands together and slide them to heart center. Take a round of breath. Notice the warmth. Notice the cool. Notice your feet. Good. Starting into our flow, inhale, arms overhead. Keep them there as you exhale, slide the shoulders away from the ears. Start to reach the left toes all the way to the back of the mat. Bend into the left knee for a double bent leg lunge. Thinking as if you're trying to hover your left knee off, an inch off the earth. Rolling the pinkies in towards each other, lifting the core, lifting through the sides of the body. Breathing here. And as you breathe, notice. Notice your feet. Notice the energy moving up from the earth into your body. Notice where the warmth is. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, keep the hips low, but start to straighten into the back leg. Big breath in. Big breath out. Press the palms together. Slide the hands down to heart center. Good. Start to tip the chest forward. Really sending your weight into your right leg. Start to drag the left toes in. And maybe they lift off the ground. Keeping the right knee bent. Finding this crouching warrior. Breathing here for 3. Maybe kick the back leg a little higher, reaching the glutes and the hamstrings towards the sky for 2. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, drive the right leg straight. One more big breath in. Slowly exhale, start to bend the right leg. Left toes come back to the earth. Inhale the arms overhead, keep the palms pressed together. Exhale, open up into warrior 2, spinning the back foot. Take a moment. Start to pulse the right leg, bending and straightening. Good, and then once you're feeling settled, deep in the warrior 2. Reaching through the fingertips. Noticing the warmth in the body. Noticing how the feet connect to the earth. Start to reach the right arm forward, inhale. Exhale, reverse the warrior, straighten into the front leg. Find length from the right big toe to the right pinky. Lifting through the left side of the body. Left hand rests on the left leg. For 3. For 2. Good. Inhale, keep the right leg straight. Start to reach the right arm forward, sending the hips back. Drop the right hand to the right shin, soft bend in the right knee. Left arm reaches high, triangle pose. Trying to roll the right rib cage under the body. Gaze can go up, down, stay neutral. Anchoring the right big toe into the earth. Slight external rotation of the right hip. For 3. For 2. Good. Inhale, rise back up, bend the right leg. Exhale as you settle into your warrior two once again. Good. Slowly inhale, pivot on the left foot back to crescent lunge. And as you exhale, start to fold forward, straighten the right leg, find pyramid pose. Hands can rest on the right shin or the earth. Try to look out ahead of you, not behind you. For 3. For 2. Good. Soft bend into the right leg, big step up into a forward fold. Head and shoulders hang heavy. Take a few rounds of breath. On an inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Press the palms together and exhale, hands to heart center. Take a round of breath. Notice the warmth. Notice where you're holding on to tension. Notice how your feet are connecting with the earth. Notice your breath. Are you able to find length in your inhales, completion in your exhales? On your next inhale, sweep the arms overhead. As you exhale, settle in, slide the shoulders away from the ears. Good. Start to lean into the left foot. Reach the right toes all the way to the back of the mat. Bend into the right knee as if you're trying to hover an inch off the earth. Bent leg lunge. Breathing here. Keeping the hips low, but lifting through the sides of the body. Lifting the core up. Building heat, building warmth. Using the breath to hold you into this present moment and this very temporary moment. Okay, take a big breath in. As you exhale, keep the hips low. Start to straighten the back leg, driving the quad towards the sky. Crescent lunge. If you feel like the core is pooching out a bit, like you're back bending, the ribs are flaring, see if you can hug everything back to the center line. For 3. For 2. Press the palms together and slide the hands in front of the chest. Start to tip the chest forward. Begin to send the weight into the left foot. Really start to engage the left leg. Start to drag the right toes in. Maybe they stay on the ground, or maybe you start to lift the right toes off the earth, reaching the quad towards the sky. Keep the left leg bent, crouching warrior. Breathing here for 3. For 2. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, drive the left leg straight. Lift the belly. Lift the right thigh. Reach through the right toes. Grip the earth with the left foot. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, start to bend the left leg again. Right toes meet the earth. Keep the palms pressed. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, open the arms out. Pivot on the back foot. Warrior 2. Taking a few breaths here to pulse back and forth. Good. Finally settling into that warrior 2. Finding length from fingertip to fingertip. Pressing into the pinky edge of the back foot. Take a big breath in, start to reach the left arm forward. Exhale, reverse the warrior, but straighten the front leg. Right hand drops to the right leg. Continuing to lift through both sides of the body. One more big breath. Good. Inhale, start to reach the left arm forward. Send the hips back. Exhale, drop the left hand to the left shin. Reach the right arm high, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Try to wrap the left rib cage under the body. Breathing here for 3. For 2. Good. On an inhale, rise back up. Exhale, warrior 2. Start to pivot around on the back foot. Finding crescent lunge, you may need to readjust a little bit. That's totally fine. Take a big breath in. Exhale, start to straighten the left leg as you hinge at the hips forward, finding pyramid pose. Looking out ahead of you. Hands can rest on the left shin. If you have blocks, you can use blocks, or you can use the ground. Good. Look out ahead of you. Big step to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Good. Pressing the hands into the earth. Start to bend the knees. Wiggle the feet out slightly wider, maybe even wider than your mat, and turn the toes out. Good. Using the hands to help you, start to sit the hips down, finding Malasana, Garland pose. So if your heels are off the ground, you can take a moment and fold your mat up and make the ground a little higher. If you find that you're really high up in your squat, see if you can widen the stance a little more. Bring your hands to your thighs and then slowly start to sit yourself down a little deeper. We'll find about 5 rounds of breath here. Good. And if Garland pose just really isn't in the cards today, you can stay in your forward fold, still turn the toes out, bend into one leg, and then bend into the other. Move back and forth, keeping the feet open so you can still find some opening in the hips. Good. Bring the hands to the earth. Start to straighten the legs, send the hips back up. Walk the feet in, back to hips distance. And slowly start to roll yourself back up to standing. Sweeping the arms overhead. And then releasing them down by the sides. Becoming aware of yourself once again, of your feet, of your warmth, of your breath. Wiggle the feet in just slightly, a true hips distance or maybe a little bit more narrow. On an inhale, sweep the arms overhead, keep them there, rise up onto the toes. Good. Start to squat down, keeping the heels off the earth, really hugging the legs in towards each other. Start to sit the hips down, 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 down. Keep going. Keep the toes off the ground and sit all the way down into the deepest squat you can find. Bring the hands to the hips. Good. So you can drop one knee at a time, or you can drop both knees. It's very helpful to press the hips forward slightly, as if you're coming into a camel pose. If you'd like a little support, you can definitely use blocks or just bring your hands to the earth and guide yourself down that way. Beautiful. So lifting the chest nice and high. Start to press the hips forward as you drop the knees to the earth. You can untuck the toes. Lifting the chest, finding the soft camel pose. Squeezing the spine with the shoulder blades. Breathing here for 3, for 2. Good. Tuck the toes. Sit the hips back, find toes pose. Really driving the big toe into the earth. You may need to reach back and tuck your pinkies. They tend not to want to join the party. Hands can rest on the thighs. If it's feeling like a little too intense right now, you can lift the hips up and find a kind of comfortable middle. Or you can kind of pulse in and out. Breathing here for 3, for 2. Good. Untuck the toes and then tap them out. You do one at a time onto the earth. Good. Walking back just slightly so I can be a little more on my mat for you all. Sit the hips back onto the heels, toes untucked. Start to reach the hands out behind you. Lean the chest back. Finding a soft front body opening here. And if it feels available, you can drop onto the forearms. You can flatten the hands. It's really whatever's feeling available for you today. And maybe sitting up is enough. Maybe this is enough of a stretch for your quads and for your hip flexors. If you're feeling some tension in your lower back, press the hips up and slide them forward so your butt comes towards your calves. Finding a slightly more neutral pelvis for 3, for 2. Good. Coming up, bringing the hands to the earth, finding a tabletop. Taking a few rounds of cat-cow, finding a nice slow pace. Good. Coming back to neutral. On an inhale, reach the right arm high, open the chest. As you exhale, slide the right arm under the left, laying onto the right side of the face, threading the needle. Left hand can stay pressed in front of the face, or you can extend it out, find a little length across the back. Good. Slide the left hand in if it's extended. On the inhale, unthread, reach the right arm high. Exhale, right hand to the earth. Good. Inhale, left arm reaches high, open the chest. Exhale, slide the left arm under, lay onto the left side of the face, threading the needle on this side. Same options. See what feels good here. If the right arm is extended, slide it in, and on an inhale, unthread, reach the left arm high. Exhale, left hand to the earth. Sit the hips back onto the heels, walking the knees wide, keeping the big toes towards each other. Start to walk the hands forward, folding at the hips, finding a child's pose. And if child's pose doesn't feel comfortable or available for you today, you can lift the hips up, walk the knees in slightly, and then stack your forearms, rest your forehead down onto them, finding the soft puppy pose. Taking a few rounds of breath here just to ground and settle. Noticing again your points of contact with the earth. Your points of contact with yourself. Good. Option to stay in either child's pose or puppy pose, or some other version of a supported restful posture that you like. Or you can bring the hands to the earth and find your way just to one downward facing dog. Getting a nice grip of the earth, sending the hips up and back, pedaling through the feet, bending the knees. We'll take about 5, maybe 10 rounds of breath here. You can walk the feet wide as the mat if you'd like. Shift side to side. Just kind of feeling into the body. Enjoying the space you've created. Good. And then when you're ready, lower the knees down. Set the hips back onto the heels. And if this isn't comfortable, please feel encouraged to come to sit onto your bottom. Good. On an inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms out wide, lift the chest. Inhale, reach up the arms tall. Exhale, cactus the arms wide. Good. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus. Good. Inhale, gather the hands in to heart center. Bring all the energy in. Settle in as you exhale. Allow the eyes to close. Beginning to find a few rounds of breath here. Noticing your body. Noticing where you're making contact with the earth. And considering if you're comfortable. Do you feel supported? Do you feel sustained here? If not, can you switch position? How can you make your seat, this final seat, something that you are enjoying? Always feeling encouraged and empowered to honor your body through this practice, to live in the truth of what you need, the truth of what you may want, and then finding the real truth, that middle where they intersect. Feeling the heartbeat. Noticing where you're still holding tension. Maybe the jaw, maybe the belly, the space between the eyes. Can you soften? And taking a moment to thank yourself for coming to your mat. Spend some time in your body with yourself. A moment to thank your body for being wonderful. As always, I encourage you to find as many moments as you can to be in awe of yourself. Thank you all so much for spending some time with me. It's an honor to be part of your practice. I hope you have a good rest of your day or night, and I'll see you next time we're on the mat together.